From coffee to shampoo to hand sanitizer, First Stop Shop is your one-stop, conveniently located at the nearest Delta Petroleum gas station.
Delta Petroleum, serving the Caribbean.
Good morning to you. I am Mervyn Henley with THG News Today. THG News Today is powered by Carl & Sons on St. Maarten, Delta Petroleum, and Feezes on Nevis. And of course, your business can be the next sponsor for THG News Today. Today is Wednesday, 10th April. For those of you who are here who have not subscribed yet to our channel, this is your opportunity to do so now. Just hit the subscribe option and tap on that notification bell to be kept abreast on the latest news and whatever else there is happening. Before we get to the news, let's get to our spotlighter for today, and that is Sadler Immigration Services in the United States. Their services include family-based petition, adjustment of status. This has to do with green card and U.S. citizenship, removal of conditions. Also, they offer services in naturalization, asylum. You must contact this immigration service because so much has changed and is changing when it comes to U.S. immigration policies. For example, on the 1st of April of this year, well, a couple of days ago, they increased their immigration fees. Just so you know that, you can contact Sadler Immigration Services at sadlerimmigration@gmail.com. That's SADDLER immigration@gmail.com. Or WhatsApp them today at 1-267-346-2644. That's 1-267-346-2644. Give them a call or message today via WhatsApp. And just remember to be a part of Spotlight and pay only $150 for your business. That's for us to push and promote your business right here on THG News Today. And you too can contact us via WhatsApp. 1-869-667-7443. That's 1-869-667-7443. Now, let's get to the news. Our first story is not from the Caribbean. It's not a Caribbean story, but it may very well be picked up by Caribbean governments and lawmakers. I think it was back in 2021 where there was a mass school shooting in Michigan. And guess who got sentenced yesterday for the shooting and murders? The parents. Yes, you've heard right. The parents. So in a climatic ending to a historic case, a judge sentenced James and Jennifer Crumbley, both to 10 to 15 years in prison for their roles in the 2021 Oxford High School mass shooting committed by their son, who murdered 4 students, injured 7 other people, and terrorized the community using a gun that he had long begged for. Oakland County Circuit Court Judge Cheryl Matthews said she could not understand the victims' families' grief and offered her most sincere condolences. The judge said the state sentencing guidelines, which called for up to about 7 years in prison, were not sufficient to recognize the harm of the shooting. Parenting is a complex job, the judge said. Parents are not expected to be psychic, but these convictions are not about poor parenting. These convictions are about acts that could have halted a runaway train. She added, opportunity knocked over and over again, and no one answered. Mr. Crumbley, she's now speaking to the father, it is clear to this court that because of you, there was unfettered access to guns in your home. She termed Jennifer Crumbley's behavior, that's the mother, at the school the day of the shooting apathetic. James Crumbley bought the 9mm handgun used in the shooting as an early Christmas present on Black Friday, setting the stage for the terrifying massacre just 4 days later that robbed parents of their children, horrified a school community, and landed the Crumbley parents in the history books. James and Jennifer Crumbley are the first parents in America to be held criminally responsible in a mass shooting committed by their child. Separate juries this year convicted both parents on 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 1 for each student their son murdered. Wow, what a story. What are your thoughts on this though? I read that the dad bought the gun, so just so that you know this and that we're clear, It's not an illegal purchase, okay? Just so you know that. And is this something we will soon hear about in the Caribbean, where in some of these islands, where the laws will be made to hold the parents accountable for their children's actions? I know a few months back and up to recently, the Attorney General of Antigua and Barbuda, Roy Benjamin, he plans on to introduce legislation, which he did actually, where parents will be held accountable for children's violent actions. So we will see how far this legislation goes in Antigua and Barbuda, and it will be very interesting in the coming year what other Caribbean islands do about that. I know that violence rampant, sky high, and I believe that governments are trying different ways to curb the situation. So, hey, if it's not the child, then we'll hold the parents accountable. So that's what took place in the United States. They made history, these parents. And so now the Caribbean, starting with Antigua and Barbuda, they'll do town hall meetings and all of that. And we'll see how that goes as far as this legislation is concerned. Yeah? We move now to news from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The New Democratic Party has described the recent rally by the ULP and Ralph Gonsalves as an attempt to distract Vincentians from its appalling record of broken promises and lack of progress. In 2020, the ULP was re-elected on a manifesto that promised much, but as normal for this ULP government, it has failed to deliver, according to the statement. The vast majority of these promises are not delivered and have little chance of being delivered. This is typical of a ULP that takes the people for granted. They hope that Vincentians fail to think about the huge unemployment rate, lack of jobs and opportunities for young people, a crime rate spiraling out of control, a health system in disrepair, and crumbling roads. This is not good enough. Look around your country and ask anyone, do you think the ULP has done enough? Have our lives really improved? After 23 long years in office, it's clear that this is a government that has no energy, lacks creative ideas, and is clinging on to power in the hope of ensuring that they do enough to secure the future for Camilo Gonsalves. Camilo Gonsalves, of course, is the son of the current Prime Minister, Ralph Gonsalves. And they went on to talk about St. Vincent and the Grenadines deserves better. The NDP has a plan to deliver for our country. Okay. You know, it says a lot about an opposition who has been in the cold for over 23 years. 23 years. I mean, you must ask yourselves, though, why isn't the message resonating? I know the opposition may cry foul and say cheating every election, but at some point, you have to look into the mirror. You have to look in the mirror and you have to ask yourself, what are we doing wrong? Maybe we need to change lanes, change our message, change our messengers, just have a complete rebranding. I don't know. And the reality is that nowadays it takes an unlimited bottomless barrel to run a campaign. I am not here to be for or against the money that the resources that's now involved in a campaign, but it's millions and millions and millions of dollars. And Sunday night in St. Vincent at that concert, when it comes to resources, showed the opposition what they are up against. Now, I wish that election can just be about policies and holding politicians accountable and government accountable. But the reality is, in the times that we're living in, it is way more than that now. So you have to put in double the work on campaigning and you have to find resources somewhere. And the sooner those of you in opposition political parties, the sooner you recognize this, the better off you will be and the better the party will be. Because once you accept what you need to do, then you'll apply yourselves and you'll go out there. You can't just live in opposition for the rest of your lives and say, oh, the people are not getting what they deserve. But the people are not getting what they deserve, but they vote for these people every time. And if Ralph Gonsalves wins the next election, he will be going into his 6th term. So in 3 years, when he is 80 years old, he will be in there. And I believe, too, that at 80, he's I think he's 77 right now. So I believe at 80, he will step aside and whomever, the opposition seems to think that it's his son, he'll step aside and then pass on the baton. That's what I believe. He'll do this until he's 80 years old, but we shall see. And finally, in our news this morning out of St. Maarten, the police force of St. Maarten, in collaboration with the Immigration and Border Protection Services, according to SMN News, conducted a targeted operation in the morning of Tuesday, April 9th at a guest house in Cole Bay as part of an ongoing investigation into human smuggling. During the operation, the personnel under the leadership of the prosecutor apprehended 14 undocumented persons. Among those detained were 13 individuals of Haitian descent and one from the Dominican Republic. These individuals have been placed in immigration detention as the investigation continues. In accordance with established procedures, officers from the Immigration and Border Protection Services will assist police in processing the detained individuals to facilitate their eventual repatriation to their native countries. The police force of St. Maarten remains steadfast in its commitment to combat human smuggling and ensure the safety and security of the community. This collaborative effort underscores the dedication to upholding the law and holding those involved in such criminal activities accountable. The St. Maarten Police Force urges anyone with additional information regarding this incident or related criminal activities to come forward and assist in the ongoing investigation. That is our news for this morning, sponsored by Delta Petroleum, Carl & Sons on St. Maarten, and Ephesus on Nevis. Do join me again tomorrow morning, God's willing, at 6 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time for a similar presentation. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everyone. I am Mervyn Henley.
Carl & Sons have been serving the people of St. Maarten for over 40 years. And the food and service get better and better. From early morning, customers flock to the bakery for their favorite sandwiches, cakes, pastries, you name it. First thing at mornings and last thing at afternoons, folks rush to Carl & Sons for simply the best. There are two locations, Colbay and on the Punfill. In Colbay, the opening hours are Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. On Saturdays, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Opening hours on the Punfill, Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We also cater for weddings, parties, special events, whatever the occasion. It's Carl & Sons. Our staff, we are always happy to serve you. Call us today, the Colbay location, 721-544-2462. That's 721-544-2462. Or in Phillipsburg, 721-543-1059. That's 721-543-1059. It's Carl & Sons Bakery. We are here to serve you. Nevis, satisfy your sweet tooth at Feases, the cozy spot in Charlestown, known for its mouth-watering ice cream and dal parade. We are open Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come in and sample our patties, sandwiches, air-fried wings with fries, hot dogs, rotis, and now our famous smoothies, in all flavors of course. And don't forget to try the famous bus-up shut and saltfish. It's Feases, located at the entrance to the Cotton Jewelry Mall in Charlestown, Nevis. They're also available by phone, so place your order by calling 1-869-665-2458. Don't ask about the rest, just try the best.